Hello everyone, this is Board Games and Bourbon. I'm Glenn Flaherty, and right now I want to tell you about the new roll and write called Unlocking Insanity. It is for 2 to 5 players, plays in about half an hour, coming to you from Peterson Game, who's famous for putting out Cthulhu Wars. Now this is Lovecraft themed, but it's not necessarily a scary game. It's more in the vein of Rolling Japan or Rolling America or even on tour, because there's a number and dice adjacency problem that you're trying to solve here. Now I've played this a number of times. I'll pull that sheet off here, but I'm going to show that to you later. Ultimately, what you're trying to do in this game is you are trying to roll these dice here, and you are trying to put down numbers. Now, they're very ornate dice, and they're going to relate to these regions of the brain. They're color-coded, and they're shape-coded. You are going to roll, and you're going to pick numbers, and you're going to try to make these outside numbers very high. The higher these numbers are, the greater your sanity. Then, after that's done, all these very dark dice that are hard to see, especially with the glaze on it and the dark ink, you're going to pick one. In this case, this is a yellow, and it says -8. And what you're going to do after you put your positives is, or excuse me, that says -4. When it says -4, you have to put a -4 somewhere in the corresponding color. Like, let's say I put it right here. And then you must also put it in another area adjacent. So this could be in here, that could touch here, that could touch here. Those are all yellows. I could even go into the red and put it here, or I could have put it up here into this purple area. Okay. Ultimately, what you're trying to do is you're trying to keep the negative numbers in your lobes lower than the containment numbers on the outside. Should this negative number be higher than this number here, you're going to go insane, and you're going to kind of get some randomness thrown into your number system. If you're able to actually manage your number and hit these target numbers that are written on the piece of paper, you might be able to see this here. Like, we have like a 26, we have a 24, we have an 18 down here, we have an 18 over here, and we have a 28 over here. If you hit those numbers, you're going to get bonus points. And the ultimate score in the game is you take all your positive numbers, subtract all of your negative numbers, and that gives you your score. There are other little things that go on in there that say, like, if I ran out of room to write a negative number in a lobe, I have to actually lose a positive space from a related area or something adjacent, and that can lower my score as well. There's a perk that says if all my spaces are filled up, I can actually either do nothing or take a 2 and add it somewhere, and maybe adding that 2 would help me hit my target number, little things like that. When you go insane, there's going to be a bonus for being the first person to go insane. And remember, that means you go imbalanced. Like, for instance, if we went out of sanity in the red area, you get this card. And it says immediately roll a negative number and apply it to somebody else. Roll any negative number, it only affects the other player. So I pick a die, I roll it where it should be a dark die, I roll it says -2 yellow. So everyone else would get that -2. Not only is it a negative number that can affect your opponent's scores, it fills up a spot, which means they're probably going to have one left over, and that means they're going to have to, when they write their double negatives, cross out one of their positive numbers. But then you also get a once per game effect. And this says treat a positive die result as its maximum value, then remove this card from the game. So basically that just takes a die and you can manipulate it and turn it into a high die. That can help you. This does help you mitigate the dice, but this is the only time it really mitigates the dice. You are going to lose this card if you go from insane back to insane, however. Some of the other effects that you should know are if you are second, not first, but second. So in the red area, it says subtract 2 from each negative die result you use. Now, these are ongoing and you don't have a choice. So again, because you don't have a choice, it's not really giving you a say or a strategy. It's just changing numbers on you. That says subtract 2. Green says subtract 2 from each positive die you roll. Blue says, as the active player, re-roll any 10s. Well, that's fine. Maybe you don't want your 10s. On the yellow, it says the second positive die you roll on your turn is chosen by the player to your right. Okay, I mean, did I, whatever. And then it says purple, you may not use a positive die result showing its max value. Well, again, maybe you don't want that anyway. So it's kind of up in the air if that's good or bad. I played it 3 times. I found in the half hour, the first 15 minutes was just kind of random, writing numbers, hoping, you keeping it in balance. And then on the back end, you're just kind of dealing with it because you have no say over what the dice are when you roll them, because for the most part, you can't mitigate them. You're just hoping you didn't trap yourself. of the 3 plays, the people I played it with actually liked it less than me. So they gave it around a 4 out of 10 if it was a BGG score. I'll be a little bit more forgiving. I will say that the people who like Rolling Japan, Rolling America on tour will probably find, have a stronger affinity for this kind of game. Although I will say it's abstract in nature. It's not Cthulhu based at all. It has very nice production, which is kind of cool. Like the box is really nice. The rule booklet is really nice. There's an insert in there. The paper is good. The dice are great. However, at the same time, there are production issues. Like the purple and the blue areas look almost like the exact same color. And those colors don't match the dice. The dice and this don't match. Moreover, when you deal with the negative dice, I'm going to pour them all out of here because you pick one and then you pass it. And every time it's a turn, by the way, all the positive dice get passed to the next person. When you choose your negative die, you choose one out of the bag, you pass it, you choose another, and you do that until 4 are out, and then you reset. But with those negative dice, they're really hard to see the numbers. Not only is there a lot of etching, the dice themselves are very dark gray, and then the ink in them is very dark as well. So if it's a shiny day, because these are highly polished dice, it's going to be hard to see those numbers. Not impossible, but who wants a barrier to gameplay? So anyway, that is Unlocking Insanity. My advice is to, if you're still considering it, play it. I also have a playthrough you can watch, and I will link to that in this video. So if you have questions about specifics, this isn't a rule video, just a review video. If you have specifics, however, about the rules, I'm happy to help. So until next time, friends, thank you so much. Take care and be well.